Time for Big Board Sports.
After Indiana defeated NDSU yesterday, handing them their first loss this year, the Bison received some more bad news today. They would once again have to replace another safety. Junior Brian Shepard will be out for an unspecified amount of time because of a lacerated kidney. Shepard was replacing Colton Hegel, who will miss the rest of the year, recovering from a torn ACL. The Bison will now be moving on to their third safety this season, senior Bobby Ullman. Along with Shepard, wide receiver Zach Farrar will also be missing a few weeks with a separated shoulder. There's no set time for when they may return. Head coach Craig Bowles says while the injuries will be difficult to overcome, it is not the reason why the Bison lost.
Looking at that and saying, well, that's the reason for the result of the score. I think that's really that's not what our team is about. And the next guy that goes in needs to play well. And so that's what we'll need to do this next week. It's going to be a challenge. I think we're playing South Dakota on the road, and that'll be a challenge for us to make sure our team bounces back.
The Minnesota Vikings were looking to get their fourth straight win against Washington Redskins, but returning to the Redskins starting lineup was Robert Griffin III just a week after getting a concussion, making Washington fans anxious for a win. We'll start off in the first quarter. Christian Ponder is going to be handing off to Adrian Peterson. He takes it down the middle, breaks the tackle, goes over to the sideline, runs down for a great run. It gets the Vikings over to Blair Walsh to get them the first points on the board, 3-0. Now going to the second, Redskins, Alfred Morris going in for the 1-yard touchdown. Redskins go up 10-9. Now Christian Ponder dropping back, standing in the pocket, loses the ball, and it's caught by Lorenzo Alexander. That leads them down to another touchdown. They lead 17-9. Now going into the third, RG3 drops back and decides that he will run it in himself. He stretches across the end zone for another touchdown. They're up 24-9. Going into the fourth, Ponder throws over to Michael Jenkins, who gets in for his first catch of the season and touchdown. But the Redskins won't allow the Vikings to get the win, and it's all about RG3 as he drops back. He decides to run it in himself, going over to the sideline. He goes 76 yards, no one able to touch him, putting them up 38-26.
Proud of the way we fought back. We finished until the end, and that's always good to see. I mean, we never count ourselves out, and we finished. And I think a testament to Everson Griffin to come out and play today, and obviously the situation he had and had to deal with, came out and played with a heavy heart, and that's a heck of a teammate.
RG3 had 138 yards, and he ran in 2 touchdowns for them to win 38-26. Well, the Ravens were hosting the Dallas Cowboys today. In the first, Joe Flacco throws over to Ray Rice, and he takes off. He goes 43 yards down the sideline for which will later be another Rice touchdown, making it 10-10. Now going into the third, Cowboys kickoff, and Ravens Jacoby Jones, he goes for a return touchdown, 108 yards. It is the new NFL record for the longest kickoff return. That puts the Ravens up 24-13. And he'll dance around in the end zone as he got that new record. Now Cowboys have a chance to win the game. Kicker Dan Bailey misses this 51-yard field goal, which could have won them. Ravens take for the win for their 4th straight win, 31-29. Well, going into the American League Championship Series game number 2, Yankees' Derek Jeter was diagnosed with a fractured left ankle. That meant Jason Nix would be taking over shortstop. Now with the last-minute changes and after the loss of last night's game, the question was, could they pull off a win against the Detroit Tigers today? We'll start off in the bottom of the first, where Anibal Sanchez will make this great catch behind his back, throws to Russell Martin for the out. Bottom of the 6th now. Runners on 1st and 3rd, Johnny Pertella barehandedly catches the ball, throwing it out to Martin to end the inning. What a huge play by him. Going into the top of the 7th, Delmon Young grounds it into fielder's choice. Robinson Cano can't make the throw to first. Quinton Berry scores 1-0. Now going to the top of the 8th, Avesol Garcia hits it. It falls down, bringing Omar Infante in. Tigers now leading 2-0. They won that game 3-0. Tigers lead the series 2-0. Well, now going into the NLCS, the St. Louis Cardinals were taking on the San Francisco Giants. Cardinals are currently ahead of that game 6-4.
It was rough watching the Vikings game today.
Yeah.
RG3 just tearing up the field.
I know, and right after he had that concussion, it was a great game for him to come back and prove that he has all that talent.
Right. Thanks, Kristi.
Yeah.
Well, still to come tonight, Lisa has a look at your evening weather planner.